Welcome everyone, Vidette Mayer here. Today is a daily tune-in that has some really powerful energies coming in, flowing into our planet and to our consciousness, into our physical bodies as we speak. So I wanted to give you some kind of concrete context to these energies so that it's not always some ethereal thing that we're talking about with energy and frequency and all of these ideas. That's actual stuff that is happening. Now, my background is in energy healing and consciousness, emotional intelligence. I've been doing that for almost a decade now. However, I have really started to tune into the planetary effects and the solar effects that our cosmos has on our consciousness in the past year. So I'm still kind of a novice on this and I'm figuring it out as we go, but also really tuning into how intuitively and energetically is these solar energies combining in order to give us a really big upgrade and a really big boost in our consciousness collectively in humanity as well as individually. So that's what these daily tune-ins are. I want to try to give you some context to them as well as some things or points about intuitive points that we can really tune into day by day, so we're not completely overwhelmed with everything that's happening in our outer worlds and everything that might be shifting and coming to light in our inner worlds. So these daily tune-ins are really for you and quite frankly for me to give us something to tune into and be consciously aware of each day so we're not getting lost in the chaos. The first thing I want to show you is this LASCO satellite, and this looks at the sun and any coronal mass injections that are coming off. And as you can see in the video, there's a pretty powerful eruption on the 11th that happens. Now, the coronal mass injections take between 2 and 3 days for them to hit us on Earth. So this one that we see in the video letting off is on the 10th. Today, as I record this, it's the 12th. So we'll start to see some of these coming in as we go. And that then will lead to this video, which is our magnetosphere. And this shows the pressure that is enveloping our planet. And you'll see planet Earth in the center of the dot there. You'll see the sun-facing side as well as the dark-facing side. And you will see how much pressure is around our planet, which brings then pressure and these high frequencies into our planet. It's updating our consciousness, it's having an effect on our brain waves. So there's a lot of data out there that shows us what is happening to our planet, which then we have to take in and integrate these higher frequencies that are coming in from our solar, from the sun, but also, and you can see on NOAA, there are galactic rays that also hit us on all different sides of our planet. So that pressure all around us has been here for a couple days, and it's probably going to stay, I would imagine, because that big CME that we just took a look at has not fully hit us. Luckily, it wasn't completely Earth-facing, but we will have its effects and we will feel it. So as I've talked about both on my Telegram channel as well as on these videos, is the physical aspects and the emotional aspects that we're going to be feeling. The symptoms of these CMAs coming in are quite a bit. Physically, we're going to feel more like denser. We're going to feel pressure, maybe pressure headaches, stomach, nausea, upset stomach. Ears ringing is a really big one. There's a lot of people that are talking about having higher frequencies of ringing in their ears. And then body aches and pains. And I just posted a natural remedy post on Telegram and also Instagram. And, have some tea, lemon and ginger. Lemon and ginger are really good for soothing your, upset stomach. Also, peppermint and lavender oils on your temples will help reduce headaches, and also the scent of it will bring more relaxation and kind of calm your nerves a little bit. Getting out in nature, putting your feet in the grass, taking deep breaths. Nature is absolutely our biggest healer of all. So if you can get outside and connect in, exhaustion is also a big symptom. So power naps, if you're able to take power naps, just small little naps throughout the day, will start to ease some of the heavier exhaustion that you feel. Emotionally, these big pressure energies are going to push to the surface everything that you might be ignoring. And again, this is going to sound very familiar in a lot of these daily tune-ins, because it doesn't just go away overnight. It's a constant process of bubbling up all of our physical and emotional issues, as well as any spiritual disconnects that we have. So emotionally, if there's still things to process like stress, anxiety, anger, resentment, those, actually, let me grab my card deck. If you've been around me for a while, you probably have seen this card deck. These denser energies down at the bottom here, like any kind of shame, guilt, grief, fear, scarcity, anger, all of these denser energies are going to be bubbling up even more, because they're going to be pressurized. You're like a pressure cooker right now on our planet, and that is going to have that effect. So that stuff's going to bubble up. So you might be a little overwhelmed with all the things in life. This is your practice to start to let go of anything that's causing you overwhelm and stress and anger, and putting up your boundaries and starting to speak your truth more, and to not take it anymore. So this is forcing us, forcing you, forcing me to really take a look at all of the stuff that has been easy sometimes to bury and swallow and not take a look at. But with these increased pressures and increased energies coming in from all directions, we are feeling that in our individual worlds. It feels like things are coming in from all directions. What we are going to have to do in these daily tune-ins is kind of tune into the very things that will help us alchemize these heavier, denser energies. So for today, intuitively, last night I sat down and asked, what is it for us to concentrate on and to be aware of in this now moment, in today, so that we have just one focus. And if we focus on this is the thing today that's going to help us alchemize some of that other stuff that's bubbling up. And what came up is these big energies are also a great boost for our greatest intentions. So what is the intention that you are wanting to see manifest, that you are wanting to see expressed more of in your world? Is it a healthier relationship? Is it health and an increase in your health and well-being? Is it a new job, a new opportunity? Whatever it is, what is that thing? Keep that in your forefront today. If there are other things that bubble up, this is your awareness to say, okay, I'm feeling anger bubbling up. I'm feeling stress bubbling up. What is I want to create? And when you start to bring your attention to the intention, you are then bringing your awareness into a higher frequency, into these places of willingness and optimism. So rather than getting lost in what it is that's bringing you stress, that's bringing you overwhelm, turn your attention to the opposite expression of it. What is the intention that you want to create in that in that area? And these big pressured energies are also going to be pushing you into these higher frequencies, where you can then remove all the filters that are standing in your way of getting to the place where you can open up your perspective and resonate more and more with that intention in order to bring it in. So today, your consciousness has to be tuned into what it is you want to create, and that will help you alchemize, as well as those natural remedies, putting those natural remedies into work, having your tea, having a bath, and putting some oils or Epsom salts in your bath, don't underestimate how important those natural remedies are. If you can rely on the natural remedies and not so much turn to the manufactured remedies like aspirin or Theraflu or things like that, because they also hold manufactured things that are toxic to the body. So we're trying to remove anything in the body that doesn't resonate with these higher frequencies. And even man-made stuff is actually, it's good, but it also has man-made synthetics that will get in the way. So if you can rely on the natural remedies as well as tuning in your consciousness to the higher intention, the higher expression, you'll start to resonate more and more with those higher frequencies, which will pull you out of the symptoms that seem to be bogging you down. Emotionally, as we've said, do the work and be persistent to match the resonant truth of the intention. So if you were a match in resonance with what it is you want to create, you'd already have it. So there's some distance, so to speak, in between. There's some energy in between that is distorting the truth, distorting the natural resonance of that intention. So these truths, the distortions or the filters is what is going to be removed as you start to raise your frequency, raise your vibration to those higher emotional vibrations of willingness. I'm willing to concentrate more. I'm willing to be aware more of this intention rather than being aware of the stress or the anxiety. I'm willing to look at a different perspective so I'm not getting lost in the sludge of what's going on in my outer world and inner world. Also, be with and balance your emotions. Again, those natural remedies will help you do it. The minute you take a sip of hot tea that's soothing, that's warming, you're going to relax. And then you have some peppermint oil and you have some lavender oil and you're going to relax even more. And the more that you are able to relax in emotional wellness, the more your consciousness expands and you'll start to see solutions. You'll start to get new ideas. You'll start to see the truth of a matter. And quite frankly, this is when you'll start to see where you are getting in your own way. Physically, conflict, not everyone's going to agree with your intention. So this is where sometimes you have to be a little bit discerning about who you share your intentions with. This is a hard one because we're so used to wanting to tell our friends and our family, what intentions we have. I want to find a new job, or I want to move to a new place. I want to change this in my life. And the consciousness in which it is heard is going to be what they project back to you. So you have to be discerning about who can handle to hear your intention. I've learned that in my own life in this past year, that sometimes when you share an intention that is of growth and of a greater resonance, there are going to be those who will say, no, that's not going to work, and why would you do that? And you already have a great ABC. Why are you going to try to make it even better? And you could lose everything, and they give you all the reasons through their filters why it won't work. And then we hear that, and because we're not quite at the resonance of our intention, our mind and our ego start saying, well, maybe they're right. And we start to then bring our energies down to back into those denser energies of doubt and fear. This is where you have to hold your intention closely to your heart and share it only with those who are going to uplift you and say, yes, go for it. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. So today is a really, really big day. If you're not even sure what you want to create, sit down with a journal and start to journal out what it is you want that intention to look like. What is it you want it to feel like, sound like, taste like? How do you want to be expressed in the full expression of the intention? Who do you want to be? When you start to tune into that version of yourself, you are pulling yourself into that version. And as you pull yourself into that version, these energies in between here, these filters that are kind of gunky and distorting the whole thing, they'll start to dissolve and they start to go away. And you might have to feel some fear around it and allow it to go. And as that fear goes, that takes out that distortion. So the energy then rises even easier and even faster into that higher version of you that is there to create and has the consciousness then to resonate with that higher expressed intention. It's a really, really important day. There's a lot going on, and these energies are going to continue, as I said, there's going to be like another day or two until this, to the big energies of that CME hit us, and there's probably going to be more because we know that there are more. There's been a lot more solar activity, and it's all perfectly and divinely timed in this period of time in humanity, in our planetary timeline, for us to all be experiencing this, because we're elevating the consciousness of humanity so we can recreate everything that we see out in our outer world that's falling and collapsing, as far as our systems, our politics, our pharmaceutical, all the industries, everything is starting to fall, and it's not for us to be afraid of. It's not for us to be involved in. If you feel called to be involved in it, to help rearrange it, it's just not ours to get caught up in all of the fear and the divide that's being created in order to keep us in these lower levels of consciousness where it's easier to be controlled. It is ours to just observe, do what is ours to do, and keep our intentions on an elevated human experience so that we can actually create that in our individual worlds and project that out into the outer world as well. So stay grounded, stay at ease, do your best to rest, to give yourself some natural remedies, get out in nature, breathe, meditate, move yourself, stretch, feel the pops. You're going to feel pops in your joints as that energy is released from, the denser energies are released from your joints. So just allow yourself as much compassion and empathy as you can, and just keep going. You're doing a really great job. I'm doing a really great job. We keep showing up, we keep bringing our consciousness, and we will be the ones that will change this world for the better. I will see you tomorrow on the Daily Tune-In. If you haven't already subscribed, you can go to videttemeyer.com and get on our email list so that you can get these in your inbox every day. Otherwise, meet me on Telegram. I'm moving over there more and more simply because I don't know what's going on Facebook and Instagram, and those they're becoming quite dense, and we know that something's going on with them being down quite a bit. So Telegram seems to be a little bit more of a solid platform at the moment. So I'm over there. So come on over and check it out. I will see you there. Bye. Mwah. If today's Daily Tune-In brought you value and insight, please consider giving in return for that value by leaving a love offering. All donations go to keeping this platform operating and in service to humanity during these transformational times. To go even deeper into your soul frequency, please consider these offerings. For personal insights into your most pressing questions and concerns, get an energetic insight reading delivered directly to your inbox. To take a quantum leap in your transformation, book a personal session with Vidette. There are several options available based on how deeply you would like to go into your most desired soul-led life. To find more information and to book your sessions, please visit videttemeyer.com.